So I went on Twitter a few months ago, and I found this picture of a list of the NBA 2K video games ranked from best to worst. And as you can see, NBA 2K13 and NBA 2K12 are ranked above NBA 2K11 for some reason, and NBA 2K17 is ranked as the #1 2K of all time. And I thought, wow, this list is terrible. In my opinion, 11 is easily the greatest 2K of all time. 12 and 13 are good, but not better than 11. And 17 at #1? What the hell? But then I look at the replies at a retweet of this tweet, right? And then I see these replies. 17 is easily the best 2K of all time. The only one that would have you hooked on Park, Pro-Am, and any online play in general for hours. Shit, even days if possible. This a W. 2K17 was the most fun. Don't you realize 2K17 made a lot of people famous? It was overall a goated year. 2K17 is a classic. You had to be there. 17 was great. I only played multiplayer on the same console, but everything was smooth. When I looked at these replies, that's when I decided to make this video. Because bro, let's be honest, NBA 2K17 has been so overrated these past few years. When this game came out, everyone said that it sucked. Everyone said that it was terrible. But then all of a sudden, it's the greatest NBA 2K game of all time? Like, did y'all get amnesia or something? People have called this game the last great NBA 2K, which I completely disagree with, because in my opinion, NBA 2K16 was a masterpiece. NBA 2K17 wasn't. But as time moved on, this game all of a sudden got better to some people. Because nostalgia hit so hard, this game is now considered one of the greatest NBA 2K games of all time. I don't think that 2K17 was a bad game. I don't think that 2K17 is the worst 2K ever. 18 is. I just don't think it's one of the greatest 2Ks of all time. It's a mediocre game that's somehow in the conversation for the greatest 2K of all time. I'm being completely serious when I say this. And the casual fans might not be aware of the flaws in this game. We just apparently ignored them for the sake of nostalgia. So, I think it's time we take a deeper look. I think it's time we stop being nostalgic for a moment and acknowledge NBA 2K17 for what it truly is. NBA 2K17 is the most overrated NBA 2K of all time. Let's not forget about what we said when NBA 2K17 first came out. This game was considered the worst 2K of all time at launch. Fast forward a few years later, this game is highly praised for some reason, and now people call this the last great 2K, and some even call it the greatest 2K of all time, all because of nostalgia. And also the fact that this was most people's first 2K. Later games like NBA 2K18, which I and many call the worst 2K of all time, made people get nostalgic about NBA 2K17, forgetting all the flaws they experienced, forgetting all the things that they said when this game first came out. And the same thing happened with NBA 2K20. At launch, people were calling this game the worst 2K of all time, but now, you guessed it, it's now considered one of the greatest 2Ks of all time because of the fun they had during quarantine. Many people just forgot about everything they said about 2K17 and the issues 2K17 had. Yes, along with some improvements here and there were a lot of issues in this game. Just take a look for yourself. The Paul George loading screen. I swear to God, this was so annoying. It takes forever to load up this game. Well, okay, not forever, but dude, people would be at this loading screen for like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10, 11, 13. Bro, a sports game should not take over 10 minutes to load.
A few moments later.
It's still loading. Oh my God, I don't want to see you anymore, Paul. God damn it, now I have to reinstall this shit. Alright, let's talk about the graphics real quick. NBA 2K17 had some strange graphics. The player models look weird, they remind me of noodles, they look like plastic toys, and there's this odd bright tint that I don't like. Compared to NBA 2K16, I'll say that the graphics got worse in some areas. Man, these guys look bizarre. Presentation downgraded in 2K17 compared to 2K16. That game had some great presentation. It wasn't that stale. It was awesome, but here, I mean, it's not bad, but it wasn't as good as 16's presentation. It's not close. But I like what they did with the commentary. It was dynamic, adding new commentators Brent Berry, Chris Webber, and Steve Smith. It was pretty cool. Oh, and they also added this clown to the game. Now let's talk about the most important part of any video game, the gameplay. 2K16's gameplay was phenomenal. So with the next release, you would think it gets better, but nope, that was not the case. There's no skill involved, and animations control the game. The AI was awful, stars didn't play like themselves, it felt so dry. Players on offensive possessions would dribble out the clock in one place and take a terrible shot. On fast breaks, a slasher would take a stupid mid-range shot or a 3 for some reason. Man, why is every team trying to play like the Warriors? The defense was trash. There was a glitch where the AI would keep on double teaming you as soon as you passed the half-court line, so you can destroy teams with all these assists because of all the double teams. These AI defenders would sometimes lose track of their man and easy cut and easy score. Fouls were out of control, they forget how to rotate, and these players on offense could just go past these stupid AI defenders because they just keep on nodding off. Those were the bad parts of the gameplay I can name. I may be missing some. You can let me know in the comments. Other than that, shooting mechanics were improved, they introduced a new shot meter, you can no longer miss excellent releases, and you had more freedom with dribbling, it felt much smoother. So, overall, NBA 2K17's gameplay wasn't as good as people say it is. It was pretty flawed in a lot of areas. Now we're gonna talk about the game modes and how good they were, starting with Play Now. Of course, you can play offline or online exhibition games with the default 2016 to 17 NBA teams, Classic teams, and EuroLeague teams. They even added 2016 Team Australia and 1992 and 2016 Team USA to the game. They didn't change anything in Play Now Online though, I don't know why. And then you have Blacktop. 2K16 had the last great Blacktop in my opinion. Players were wearing their actual team jerseys on the court, and they were playing outside in the sun. The atmosphere was fantastic, but in NBA 2K17, I don't know why, but for some reason 2K decided to downgrade from the previous year. It was now nighttime, and players wore these super generic Ringers and Ballers t-shirts while playing. It was the start of the 4-year stretch of 2K being lazy and using the same blacktop from 2K17 to 2K20. Why? My league and my GM were great and deep as always. Play through multiple NBA seasons with the current team, build your roster, you can relocate and rebrand your team anytime in the regular season, and you can even add extra teams to the NBA if you want. Now, we can use up to 6 expansion teams pre-built by 2K or created from scratch. And you can even create a custom league, allowing you to create a league with a mixture of current, classic, and EuroLeague teams. Sadly, not a lot of people cared and played these game modes in 2K17, probably because of the shitty AI. Oh my team, oh how stupid of a concept you are. Seriously, I hate pay-to-win game modes. It ruins all sports games. Still, a lot of people played and enjoyed my team in 2K17, however. I didn't play it that much. I didn't even spend money on this mode as other people did. 2K17 added free agent cards, dynamic duo cards, Hall of Fame badges, card collection rewards, a revamped 3-on-3 mode, and new gem levels to my team. Then you get to playing online, right? What I hate the most about this game mode, other than the fact that it's a pay-to-win game mode, playing online isn't fun. It was fucking miserable, I swear. Almost everyone just kept on cheesing non-stop in this game mode. It was so annoying. But, yeah, that's my team. That's all I can say about it. Now, let's talk about my career. We've got a lot to talk about. So, first off, they added the new archetypes feature. When creating a player, you're not just choosing a position anymore. Now, you also choose what type of player you want to be, and this in turn dictates your starting attributes and your ratings cap in each of the 10 attribute categories, plus which badges you can upgrade. So you're done with creating your player, and then you get to the storyline. Oh, brother. We gotta talk about this fucking storyline. So this was the last 2K until 2K21, where you can play in college in my career. There are 10 college teams you can play for: Arizona, Georgetown, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Kansas, Louisville, Michigan State, Oklahoma, UConn, and Wake Forest. Also, they brought in Michael B. Jordan, also known as Justice Young, and put him in a dynamic duo with you called Orange Juice. What the f? And bruh, the cutscenes in this story are so atrocious. It is so hard to watch.
Hello?
Hello? Is this the president of basketball?
Anyway, there's a big difference from NBA 2K16 in this year's story. So, how you play the game and your decisions off the court will change how you experience the narrative. If you're a gym rat like Justice, the two of you will form a strong bond right away. If you're more outspoken in press conferences and when talking with the media, it will have ramifications down the line. Even the new text messaging system plays an important role in how and when you choose to do things, as well as the way you respond in personal conversations, which will help to dictate what is going on around you throughout the season. Back to Orange Juice. Yeah, it's strangely an important part of NBA 2K17's my career. So on the court, when you're my player and Justice are locked in, you have the opportunity to utilize dual player controls. So not only can you tell Justice to do things like cut to the basket, take a shot, or isolate, but you can also switch over and control him entirely. There was a new off-court AI system. Now, many different things will be scheduled throughout a given off day, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do during each period of time. It would be constantly evaluating your play and your relationships with players, endorsement companies, and other people around the league to determine what opportunities will become available to you next. Live practice was updated, so now you have more ways to improve your player. They added some new drills centered on things like ball movement, setting screens, and the pick and roll, to name a few. Also, they added this doing work meter, so now whether you're in the middle of a team practice, working on your shot in the practice gym with Justice, or even just shooting around solo in your my court, the doing work meter is always there tracking your progress. Filling that meter up will earn you progress towards additional upgrade slots, allowing you to fully maximize your player's abilities. They updated the jump shot creator, allowing you to make custom jump shots from the base to the release and use them in my career. They greatly improved my court in 2K17. Now you can use 3 different courts and customize them with a wide change of floors, murals, and more. And now not only can people that are online visit your court, but so can the players you've built relationships with in your career. So you can have a 1v1 or a shoot around with LeBron James on your my court. That's a pretty cool feature. The teammate grade system is frustrating. The thing I hate the most is how 2K punishes you for turning the ball over and allowing a score off a turnover. Like, damn, your grade goes down tremendously. As always, you have to grind incessantly to make your player better. It is ridiculously hard to get to 99 overall. You have to spend so many hours a day, so many weeks just constantly grinding, or if you're sick and tired of all of it, you can just buy VC. So yeah, this game mode had its ups and downs, but 2K17's my career was cool. Not better than 2K16's my career though. And finally, it's time to talk about My Park. The most played game mode in this game, the reason why this game is so loved, the reason people consider this game the last great 2K. First off, let's talk about the actual park, the appearance. They literally just copy and pasted 2K16's park and made it darker. Really, 2K? Like, you're not even gonna bother to add some cool new things to the park? This was the last 2K to have affiliations in my park until 2K21. The Ballers, Rough Riders, and Flyers, with every affiliation having its different courts and style of play. They added Park in the dark. It didn't even work. It was trash. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Then you get to the online gameplay. Again, just like my team, this game mode was so fucking cheesy. There are so many annoying parts about this My Park that people just forgot about. There was no overall cap. There was no badge limit. Don't even get me started on the cheesy builds. Oh my god, everywhere you go, you have some of the most unstoppable and cheesiest builds. It is just not fun to play with these guys. Big men would be speed boosting, breaking ankles like Iverson. Every build shoots like Curry, even with a low 3-point rating. Every point guard is the Flash, etc. It is absurd. Good luck trying to stop these guys, and the fact that you also have to deal with the tedious grind for your player to get better, my god, it's so miserable. Not to mention, to become a legend in this game, you had to play like 10,000 games just to become a legend. 10,000. Yeah, nah, sorry man. Unless you're the ultimate non-grass toucher, that's not happening. And finally, to add some more insult to injury, NBA 2K17 had one of, if not the worst servers in any NBA 2K ever. People called this the last fun park. Listen, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, NBA 2K17 was a decent game. Again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst 2K of all time. But again, this game should not be in the conversation for the greatest NBA 2K video game of all time. Yes, 2016 to 2017 was a pretty fun time in the 2K community. A lot of creators on YouTube got really popular playing this game. We've had some fun times. We get nostalgic when talking about this game. But when we talk about this game, we shouldn't be forgetting about all the problems that this game had. I've noticed that a lot of people who think that 17 was the last great 2K mostly talk about the online game modes, mainly My Park. Okay, I know this is gonna trigger a lot of people, but My Park is not the only game mode in 2K that matters, alright? Jeez. This game came out before the disaster known as NBA 2K18, the worst 2K of all time in a lot of people's opinions, including mine. It just so happens that NBA 2K18 was so bad, it made NBA 2K17 look like a masterpiece, and people started changing their opinions. People started to say that this was the last great 2K. I consider NBA 2K16 to be the last great 2K because that game deserves to be in the conversation for the greatest NBA 2K video game of all time with a game like NBA 2K11. I'll say it again. That game was a masterpiece. NBA 2K17 wasn't. It's not bad, but we really should stop overrating this game. I hope y'all remember now how y'all trashed this game until 2K18 came out. Guys, the bar shouldn't be that low. I'm sorry, it just had to be said. 2K17 was an average game. It is undoubtedly the most overrated NBA 2K of all time. Well, that'll do it for this video. What did you think of it? Do you disagree with my opinion? Some of you probably will, but that's fine with me. Let me know in the comments section below. I'll respond to your comment if I want to. If you made it this far, you're a real one, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.